Hello, sports fan. This is Stephen here with Sports Choice Plus, and I'm bringing you a very special breakdown. I'm going to be covering, could the Houston Texans have a change of heart? Before I get right into that, I want to make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel so you can get all the updates, you can get all the breakdowns. Without further ado, let's get right into this topic. For the last couple of months, the last couple of weeks, we've heard nothing about this draft, about the quarterbacks in the draft, about so many things that's going on with this draft. And you're looking overall at all the teams in the top 10. You're looking at all the needs from quarterbacks. You're looking at all the positions. You're looking at the Carolina Panthers trading up to the Chicago Bears and seeing exactly what that curtailed in order for them to essentially get that pick, whether it be adding players onto that, whether it be adding more draft capital to that. But the Carolina Panthers trading up to the Bears signaled, okay, there could be gold at the top of this draft. It could be fool's gold. But you have to pay attention. You have to keep in mind that this draft is going to possibly forever change the next coming drafts moving forward. The reason why I say the Houston Texans are having a change of heart, you're looking at a lot of what Adam Schefter has been reporting. If you look at Adam Schefter's reporting over the history of his time with reporting from the Houston Texans, he's been almost spot on. Look at the different things that they talked about with J.J. Watt. Think about the things they talked about with Deshaun Watson. Think about the things with DeAndre Hopkins. Think about the things they even had with Arian Foster, even with Johnson, the Hall of Fame receiver for the Texans. He's been spot on with a lot of his takes and a lot of his things. So with his connection and ties toward the organization, when he starts putting a halt to possibly the Texans having a change of heart, the Texans were seen to have a lock on Bryce Young. They were seen to be locked into, okay, we're going to take Bryce Young number 2. Because everybody, the toast of the town was C.J. Stroud. Everyone was talking about how C.J. Stroud was being wined and dined by the Panthers, how his pro workout day was great. Again, all those quarterbacks that from Levis to Richardson to Young to Stroud all had amazing pro days. Let's be honest. It's scripted. It's in shorts. It's in pads. No pads. Shorts and T-shirts. Throwing the guys that you're comfortable throwing with. It's scripted. 40 to 45 throws. They're easy throws. There's not anything. You don't have a 300-pound lineman running at you. There's nothing really stopping you from doing what you got to do. So you got to keep in mind from this here, the Houston Texans have been all, okay, Bryce Young. But you're seeing the strides in the tea leaves start to change. You're seeing that a lot of teams are maybe we're going to lean towards Bryce Young. Maybe the Carolina Panthers are doing this, and you're seeing this draft, and this draft, mock draft, and this mock draft, and this mock draft. Everybody's slowly starting to change and say Bryce Young is the number 1 overall quarterback. So with that being said, you're paying attention to everything that's going on. You're paying attention to everything that's here. And you got to ask yourself, what's one of the most craziest things we saw just a couple years ago? We saw the San Francisco 49ers have a defensive end change essentially their trajectory. When Nick Bosa was taken high by the San Francisco 49ers, he changed that defense essentially from his motor, from his activeness on the defensive side of the ball, to the defensive playmaking, to the award-winning. Coach Ryan, head coach of the Texans, saw that firsthand. He saw how a defensive end could essentially anchor something and bolster something. And what do the Houston Texans have ample of? They have ample draft picks. They have multiple first-round picks. And I don't think people realize that this draft class is deemed pretty good. But the next draft class, you seem like you have 2 hit-or-miss guys as well. If you're not drafting number 1 and you're getting the guy that you want, why not trade out completely or trade back or trade that picks into more picks for next year to possibly get one of those guys? The 2 guys that I'm talking about is Drake May from the University of North Carolina and also Caleb Williams from USC. Both of those guys are deemed as can't miss products. When you look at Caleb Williams and what he's done at USC and what he did at Oklahoma, and you're looking at Drake, what he's done in UNC and what he's projected to do this year at UNC, it's so many different things that pop out on the screen to you. And what did Coach Ryan see firsthand? He saw how Bosa made life easier for you. Now, when you have multiple picks in the first round, you can afford to make certain calls. You can afford to trade back. You can afford to do things. But could the Texans trade back? Or could they take Will Anderson at number 2? If Will Anderson is taken at number 2, that's going to flip this draft on its ears. You're possibly going to see multiple trades. You're possibly going to see multiple moving back and forth in the top 10 from different teams alike. But hey, that puts the Colts in a good position. Because if the Colts get their chance at a Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud, that possibly could solve their quarterback issues. But the Carolina Panthers are probably taking a quarterback. They're not going to be taking the defensive end. They're not going to be taking the defensive tackle, wide receiver. They are going all in for a quarterback, whether it be Bryce Young, whether it be, and now you're starting to hear that Richardson's starting to get buzzed for number 1. So that's always tough. You don't know. Will Levis could be a part of this. You don't know. You don't know. Because the Carolina Panthers have wined and dined everybody. It's going to be tough moving forward, but I know the clock is about to slowly start ticking. We're less than 2 weeks into the draft, and you got to think it's a lot of smoke screens. It's a lot of posturing. It's a lot of, hey, I've got this, I've got that, or I'm liking this guy, or I'm gonna like that guy. Whole time you're not even going to draft any of these guys. You're looking at a defensive end. So that's one thing we got to realize, and one thing that could happen. The Texans could possibly not even take a quarterback this year at all. Choose to sign a free agent. It's a number of things. If they really want one of those guys next year, why waste a draft pick this year? After all, he did see what Trey Lance did. Coach Ryan did, up close and personal, as defensive coordinator. After all, he did see what Brock Purdy did. What Jimmy G did in relief. So, all you Houston Texans fans, all you NFL fans, chime in. Get inside the comment section below. Definitely check out Sports Choice Plus for all the breakdowns and all the updates. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think possibly could happen. What do you think the Texans should do with their pick? Should they take Will Anderson? Should they take a quarterback? Should they trade out? Should they trade up? What should they do? Let me know. Get in the comment section. Definitely check out Sports Choice Plus on the YouTube platform. And we'll see you on the very next video.